was it. Today's Tuesday, May 19th. I did a ton of back squat related type things. So I worked up to a tempo-ish pause squat of 285 with some back offsets at that. And then I did a whole bunch of other movements that are kind of centered on just getting a better squat altogether. I made the mistake of putting on my sleeves before I did my hamstring rehab movements. So doing all of this made my knees feel really kind of warm as a good note, but kind of gross and a little constricted before I even started the actual squatting. And that's kind of comical to me because I'm so conscious about how I warm up and all these things. So yeah. Today did not go as planned. I basically forgot everything I did last week, and I forgot the reason why the squats felt good last week. And I figured it out towards the end of the working weights, but that's towards the end of the working weights. So it's more than halfway through all of the amount of reps I've done, and then I figured out how to execute so that it didn't hurt as much. And I was really frustrated with that because even though I was able to correct, I should have been able to notice how it felt from the beginning. So I think I want to make it a note to watch these videos before I actually lift and hear what I had to say to make sure that I don't make the same mistakes twice for reference, right? So I have the hammy band on, kind of similar to yesterday, but I mean today was I was intending to use it throughout the whole squat workout, whereas yesterday I put it on when I was snatching, which was kind of an odd thing to do. I'm not sure how much it's helping. Like, to be honest, it just feels really uncomfortable, but I don't think it's hurting it. So I think I'm gonna keep it on maybe one more squat day and really try and see how everything feels. But you can see here that my warm-ups, as I descend, my hips continue to push back past my heels, which will put a lot of pressure on my hip. It's like I'm not sure what the scientific terms are, but it's not a pleasant feeling. So as the weights get heavier, I continue to basically reinforce that movement path that movement pattern. I can't speak for some reason right now, and it is not a fun sensation to feel. So this is about where it started to get challenging for me. You can see there that my hips actually do push out of the back of the pocket once I initiate the push. Similar thing happened there. So here's my heaviest set. This is my top set at 285. And I kind of shake at the top. It wasn't because of my hip was feeling bad or anything. I just didn't want to push too hard on my hip to straighten out my legs because I wasn't sure if that would eventually hurt it or not. But basically, I was sitting too far back, and you can see the big difference here. This is 255 for my back offsets. The biggest difference is that my, for lack of a better term, my energy, quote unquote, is aimed and pointed forward versus split evenly across my heels. And it's another way of saying, a more philosophical way of saying, my hips and my butt are kind of aiming to fall right on top of my heels. And the more I'm able to do that, the stronger the squat will feel, and the less pain I'll have in my hip. So this is the best set, I believe. So not too bad. You can see there, that's fundamentally different than how I was squatting on the heavy set for sure. And similar idea here, but I get put on my heels because I was trying my best to push correctly. But yeah. So from there I did some belt squats. These are I'm not actually sure why Steve wanted me to do these. I just decided to do 3 sets of 15 at uh, decent weight. It's not heavy by any means, but 15 reps is a pretty big pump. The good mornings here are included because I haven't done like a really heavy hip mover today, or like hip extender today. So I'm doing that here. I think normally Steve likes to incorporate um, a whole variety of different movements. So usually one of them is going to be like a leg extensor, which would be like a squat in any shape or form. Kind of thinking about that, and then a hip extender, which would be good mornings, or like back extensions and stuff like that. So here I was supposed to do 5 sets of 5 at 130 on the overhead press. Last week I did 125 for 5 sets of 5 pretty easily. And today I did 4 sets, and then my fifth set, I was only able to get 3 reps. I tried to set it down and regroup, but I couldn't even muster a fourth rep, and I got pretty frustrated with that. But I think it's some sort of progress, given how everything's been feeling again, right? Finish off with some pushing movements with the dips here, and then finally I move into some barbell jumps. Steve wanted to make sure that I am doing kind of just a quarter squat, kind of similar to a dip, with moving my hips laterally as little as possible. And it doesn't mean I can get them. It means I can't get the most height on the jump, but I'm fine with that. These are actually not very easy, but they're kind of fun looking. But yeah, that is it. Shoots.